number. I mean, the stance, like I was like, this nigga look like outside linebacker or something playing wide receiver. But he had big hands.
And we'll catch that shit going across that middle.
That motherfucking state championship when we lost to Lignor, you're going to see his face on the paper like this, catching that motherfucker.
I posted that joint. I know pictures you talking about. I posted that joint.
Yeah.
Now, all right, let's go through your freshman year. Let's go through a couple games.
Freshman year, so go ahead. Freshman year, Big Kurt. What we talking about, Tad? What you talking about?
Yeah.
I face this nigga. Remember, like I'm the third running back. I'm the third running back, so I had to always go against the first team defense. You think I had to duck this nigga? I used to see this big bitch, 52, right there, stand there with his fucking thighs from Florida like this.
Yeah.
So know how I am going to avoid every contact because one thing I always know, I'm gonna get lower than you.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna fire off on me like that, bitch. I'm gonna find a way even to be so agile that when you fire off, I'm getting lower. And Kurt, woo. Go ahead. Kurt, what's up? What you want to hear, brother?
Let me give people a little concept of Big Kurt. Now, Big Kurt, he had an NFL body, a linebacker, small head now. But when I say he's a Florida boy. I mean, he loved football. He football. Oh, and he loved contact. Listen, and he was a good dude too. I rock Big Kurt. We kind of wanted him on the basketball team because he could use his body. And he wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? But at this time, I think he was still trying to concentrate to go to Maryland or something like that on some SAT shit and some shit like that. You know that's a whole what's the name in itself. But tell the people about those practices.
Those practices was
how did it prepare you for that summer? You going into working out that summer, preparing that summer, and what was I don't want to say difficult, but what was a surprise that you had playing Varsity?
So I say like the first day that we got our equipment, not like doing 7-on-7 drills, but the first day I didn't realize how quick and fast the high school game was, and I had to adjust to that because I was also used to being able to take my time to read off my fullback or read off my lineman, whatever. And I know that a lot of times, once I was able to get in the backfield, finally be able to get in the backfield and do reps like practice, me taking a split second, taking my time would lead to like a tackle for a loss in the backfield, waiting for shit. So I had to learn how to adjust to that. And you had people like Kirk will remind you. I remember one time, Kirk would blow up the fullback and it would fuck up my whole run. I will, you know what I'm saying? The players going this to the left. He would blow up the whole play, and I would like bounce that shit off and go the opposite direction, trying to avoid his big ass. You know what I'm saying? Just how Eddie Jones used to do Ray Lewis back in the playoffs days and shit. Eddie's so big, but Eddie a bitch though.
Ray made him fold. Ray made him fold. Ray made Eddie George fold.
He made him
fold. Now
it wasn't folding with me though. It was just the fact that listen, they bigger, so I gotta able to understand because I was also like learning like how.
I was about to ask you what running backs did you look at the time? What backs was you looking at? And what running backs was you looking at that time that played in town? It would have been in college, NFL. What running backs was you looking at that time?
It was running back. It was only one running back because I liked his patience. And this is before. This was Edgerrin James when he was at Miami. I used to like how Edge used to set up his blockers and was so patient with that shit. He wasn't the fastest. He was quick.
Yeah.
He was strong, but I didn't use my power. I was just able to like set up my alignment, set up my block for me to actually it's not about hitting a home run at 60 yards. It's about like if it's like 2nd and 6 or first and 10, but you getting 6 yards off that pop. It's a good run.
Yeah.
That's a run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now we coming right back at 2nd and 4. You done hit that shit for like 7 yards. That's another good run. And now we open up everything now. This is what we talking about, because now we bringing a safety up a little bit further. We bring the linebackers up a little further. Now we go play action. These are things that I started understanding later on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I started to watch Edge and how he used to like set up his lineman, set up his fullback. And Miami, they got to like Indianapolis, he was setting them up. And I'm like, all right, cool. But I didn't know how fast high school was until I got out there, and I had to like pick it up.
Right.
And they picked up my first time, because I never got in the field until it was like we was blowing everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
But Coach Stan did have me on the kickoff team. I caught the ball. I think I got my first kickoff return against City.
Mm-hmm.
I got like 25, 30 yards off it. And I remember I looked in the stands and shit. I see DeAndre, Coach Whale, and all. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And them is like, so when I came out the field, my father was like, hey, D, go stand next to the coach, man. Stand next to the coach. You know what I'm saying?
At that time, because I remember that game. It was Up City. And they put Silk in the backfield because they didn't know where they wanted to go with, who was going to run the ball type shit. At the time, it was like they switched.
They didn't want to go TJ way. They didn't trust TJ at that time. They ain't really trust him at that time because TJ was a different back. TJ ain't had no patience. You know what I'm saying? TJ thought that if the play design here, he gonna run up your back. You know, and that's what him and I we always had to like, I had to like teach him like, yo, like, slow down, bro.
Now tell the people. Now tell this is, and listen, this ain't no shade of you either, TJ, because we talk. This Taz TV. This Taz TV.
Yo, I mean, TJ used to go through it. Like, he's really, like, if Feedy would tell him, like, yo, you running up my back, just slow down. TJ understand he was so quick. Stan gave him a chance, and TJ put that work in. And TJ was successful. You know what I mean? But him and I was two different backs, though. You know what I'm saying? Him and I was two different backs. Shout out to my nigga Thomas James, man.
Yeah. Now sophomore year. Because as a matter of fact, your freshman year, y'all got to the semifinals.
Freshman season, we got to the championship against Ligonor.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to them 20-6. Ligonor they shut down the whole town. Ligonor was a small town in Maryland. 2A. It was this one we was in a 2A.
Mm-hmm.
And they shut down the whole town. And I'll never forget that shit, man. They had probably like 10, 15, 20,000 people, man, out there ringing them fucking cowbells. And I never seen no shit like that in my life, because that whole weekend it was championship football. You had 4A schools, you had 3A schools,
mm-hmm.
you had DC schools, and you had Baltimore schools, you know, all playing that weekend. And Ligonor was like, they brought the biggest fan base. And I remember they was in red and white, man. It was like a fucking team like Indiana, some team from Midwest or something. They had cowbells and shit. It was crazy. But we lost 20-6. Chris Barnes scored our only touchdown. It was a touchdown pass that Darnell held through to Chris Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
Not the only touchdown. And we couldn't stop that. We couldn't stop their offense. We couldn't stop that. They ran like in a wing tee.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop that shit. It was well prepared though.
Already, you know, stage time ain't gonna never be no. It really ain't too many blowouts. You know you're gonna play in a good game. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, after that game, what was you thinking going into that summer?
That game, what I was thinking, I actually leaving that game, I wanted to leave because it was cold as shit out there. That's number one, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I worked out that summer because my man DeAndre Dorsey, who I went to elementary school at Leafwalk,
mm-hmm.
who became real close. We worked out that summer. I remember we was talking about, because
DeAndre was tough too.
Deon was the shit. Deon was coming from JV. DeAndre had he had every skill that you would look in the back. He's fast, he's quick, he's agile, strong. You know what I'm saying? He was alert, and he can block. That was Deion. That nigga. It's just one thing about DeAndre, his durability, and he hit both sides of the ball. So Deion, he gonna play running back, but he also gonna play corner or safety, and he gonna bring it. Ask Todd Galloway. He gonna bring it. You know what I'm saying? Ask Todd Galloway. But anyway, so at that time, me and Deion was we worked out and we was like, yo, we gonna switch it up. Like, yo, I'm gonna start or you can start or whatever. That was the game plan going into sophomore season. And it kind of actually started like that, and then it didn't. I ended up starting my sophomore season, the 5th game of the year. We played, or the 4th game of the year, we played like 9-10 games of that year. I remember I ended up starting. But Deion started the first year against Mount St. Joe. Leonard Ferguson was our quarterback.
Right.
Chris Barnes was our wide receiver. Terrell Soule was our wide receiver. But he was our starting corner also. DeAndre was in the backfield. And Feedy was our fullback. Things kind of like switched up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because Leonard, God bless his soul, Leonard had a big arm. But Leonard wasn't as accurate like Jay Scott.
Right.
So Eaton had this thing, was like, you know what? I'm going to try these young guys out. It's not working out. That's when he called us the young guns. So me and Jay, I think it was the game against Pilot. We both came in. We started that game. I broke like a 90-yard kickoff return, got tackled and shit. And I remember at the time I was getting in-house pussy. My girl was living with me at the time. My house was where I was living at the time. So I'm getting extra motivated. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to school. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I had a couple hiccups down pass. I think I fumbled down pass, but I ended up scoring down there. And but like it was a game. That was a good season for me.
We lost the passing game. I played the passing game. We lost. I felt as though that they should have passed me the ball because they wasn't even playing me running running from the tight end position. But that's neither here nor there. That added to the game.
Yeah, like Leonard was good. He was a better safety. A better safety than he was a quarterback. I think like the pressure got to him. Because I always tell everybody, like Darnell Hale was the best leader that a quarterback I ever played with. Jason Scott had the best arm, accurate, but Byron Seppi was the most talented out of all of them in college ready.
Now, to me, no, I was cool with Leonard. He just wasn't calling my play. I scored about I scored about 7 or 8 times in my senior year. And that's the mistake niggas they did to just throw me the ball.
Mike Larry was a better funny friend outside of football than he was on the field. You know what I'm saying? Mike will throw that bitch to somebody in the stand. Like hard though. Like hard. They get mad at you because you dropped it. Fuck out of here, Liddy. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I used to tell him stop throwing them. I said, you can't throw them curls. I said, I'm only running like 4 or 5 yards. You throw that shit at my head.
Yo, don't soft. We watched Tom Brady. He dumped it over. Like, come on. It's finesse. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
All right, look. That's even here there. We'll keep it pushing.
But I remember the game against City, going back, remember the game against City. Coach Stan yanked Darnell and put Leonard in the game. Leonard kind of actually like got this offense going and jump started. I remember Darnell was sitting there like, fuck, bitch. He was mad. He threw his helmet and everything on the sideline. But that also motivated Darnell to get back up there and like really like, you know what I mean? That's time to go because Darnell led us throughout the second half of the season. But Leonard was a great backup quarterback. But as a starter, he just wasn't there because I think it was a lot of shit outside of school that kind of took his concentration away from everything. You know, he was having a son, all kinds of shit. You know?
But I believe that team.
And he wasn't better than Jason, yo. I'm going to say that, yo. He wasn't better than Jay. Everybody know that.
Yeah, but this I ain't gonna dispute that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm qualified because I played underneath for one year, so I ain't even gonna go back forward with you.
Jason, right there.
I'm gonna talk about the team. No, Jason threw me some touchdowns, so I ain't tripping. But, yeah, I'm not tripping at all.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that team, we ain't had no leadership. And what I mean by that, I'm a senior, but ain't nobody play with me. Ain't nobody. That's the to play basketball. You see what I'm saying?
You know who was a leader on the basketball court. You know, like y'all came together. Y'all had an understanding.
Yeah.
As leaders, you know what I mean? We ain't had no leaders. Everybody was like, niggas was smoking before the game. It was doing all kinds of shit. Like,
but that's even cool, smoking before the game. But knowing that this is what I'm saying. Like when times got tough, it wasn't like all right, y'all snap out this shit. Or we got to tighten up. You know what I'm saying? No, couldn't nobody hold each other accountable because everybody was getting mad at each other. You had the play calling was a little suspect. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Had like a 30% retarded motherfucker that was calling the plays. Coach, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about. I can't even remember.
I forget his name, but that's what I'm saying, man. His name.
Something so I remember Soul was ready to beat him. Soul was ready to beat him up in practice. It was all kinds of shit going on. Like, that's what I thought. Like, no, you can't smoke for the game. You should smoke after the game. That's what we did. We smoked after the game. You can't smoke for the game. I can't smoke for the game. I'd be paranoid out there in the front. You know what I'm saying? But we had a nigga, Karan, I can't even think of his name, but that season wasn't meant for us to like do anything.
Right.
My junior year was a season that we had everything. We had all the talent in the world. And the fact that we had bad coaching.
Mm-hmm.
We need somebody like Coach Travis and Coach Lawrence, because looking back on a lot of things, Coach Eaton, my senior season, wasn't helping me during this recruiting process, even though I was supposed to actually do my job as for my grades and everything else. But I had so many schools coming down there every day on my lunch period, before lunch, everything coming down there to see me, but he wasn't speaking up for me like he spoke up for Antoine Colvin.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what I mean? So my father started doing some recruiting for myself.
Okay.
So it was a whole lot. So the coaching, my junior year, it was like we had talent. We would run practice that we would do shotgun. Jason Scott he the shotgun. I'm in the backfield. Me and DeAndre in the backfield. We got Darrell. We got Justin. We got one tight end. We got a 6'5" tight end, 6'4" tight end. We'll run this shit in practice. Game time come, we'll open up with it. First couple of plays that don't work out, we don't like gain nothing. So he want to go to the power eye. This is like, it's the same shit. Yeah, I rush for a lot of yards, but things that work out.
It was starting to get. It was like easy to play.
It's easy to play. It's easy to design against that shit. Like, I remember my junior year, we went up playoff game against Emerson up Poly. I had 210 up there. I'm going crazy. Every time they score, I will match that shit with a 30-yard run, 40-yard run, 60-yard run. I get us on the goal line. I know that's my man James, man. He from West Baltimore. I don't know if he was trying to help them out, the West Baltimore niggas from my place. 4 times. He out center. What you doing? What you doing, man? You shaving points, man. You 17, man. You ain't nobody. What's going on, Taz? I'm bad, man. Straight up, man.
Hold up, 4 times?
Pompey bigged me up on an article before we played against them. He's like, man, yeah, we're going to look out for number 1, but we damn sure got to look out for number 2. Talking about me. He was trying to bring me down Emerson, because of Dante. You know, Dante was assistant who played with Travis.
Shout out to Dante.
Shout out to my guy Dante, man. Dante was I always talk to Dante in the summer. He was like, yo, man, I want you down there. And I ended up going to Dunbar anyway. And you know, I have a relation. My father had a relationship with Pompey. He had a better relationship with Pompey than he had with Stan.
Okay.
Went up there, you know, you got Emerson, you know, Dunbar. It's crowded at Poly, and I put on a show. We lost. I scored the only touchdown. We had 4 fumbles in a 10-yard line, bro. Not in the 20-yard line. We had four fumbles on the 10-yard line.
No.
That hurt.
Now, people, we gonna let Baylor talk because Baltimore Sun ain't doing no justice. And what I mean by that, you got this man that almost rushed for 2,000 yards in the season. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
I understand how politics was because politics was at the time that, just like we look at a nigga like LeBron, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I ain't going to even go there. I'm going to look at it the fact that, Giannis won the MVP last year because they was, the number one seed last year. Lakers the number one seed, but Lakers there get tired of the same. So I get all that. But, it looks at your record. So my senior season, we only won 5 games. I only played with 4 seniors. We had probably 3 senior starters. Everybody came from JV. They was sophomores. A couple juniors. But it was sophomores.
So you played with a baby team your senior year.
So we only won 5 games. So everybody who was they was getting bragging rights against me in my senior year. Because we lost them to everybody that I know of late. Everybody, everybody. It don't matter how much I rushed for. I remember late, Allen and beat us 40-8. I scored the opening kickoff. They kicked this to us. I scored the opening kickoff. And from then on, they niggas is shut me down. Anything I ever I would get yards, get us goal line or get us close to scoring, but shut it down. We lost 40-8. I scored the only touchdown, opening kickoff.
How frustrated? I know you was frustrated.
Frustrated, bro. Frustrated in the world because the following season, I remember my junior year. Going into my senior year, I was elected to the Super 22. Mm-hmm. So I got a award for that. It's the 22 best players in Baltimore City. Mm-hmm. I got invited to, at the time, was the 100 best players in the state Nike camp. So they invited 100 best players to the Nike camp.
Right.
DJ Williams, University of Miami, he was the cover boy of it at the time. And he was a freshman in Miami, but they had his picture, the cover and everything. Mm-hmm. Me and Antoine. I didn't even go to the Nike camp because I missed my flight. You know what I mean? Relying on Antoine, but that's my fault. I missed the flight, so I didn't even go. At that time, I was ranked in everything, rivals and everything. By me didn't go to the Nike camp, all that, I dropped. Just how Kill Carr would drop. They had a little nigga I forgot his name, that went to Carolina, left hand, the kid, Nate, something from D.C. that ended up playing with Carolina. They had him ranked over. We Kill will fuck him up. But the fact that Kill wasn't playing at the time, they had a lot of guys over Kill.
Yeah.
And we know that Kill can work. And that's the same thing with me. I didn't make it to Nike camp, so my ranking fell.
Now, and that I know that hurt more than anything because now they all right, well, what is he doing? Where is he going? Where is he?
Right. Now, we not even winning. Mm-hmm. So now my coach Eaton, who's a religious guy, that summer going into my senior year, he's trying to get me to go to church. Man, he got Antoine. He was he was that guy. He came from private school, so Catholic church was his thing. So him and Coach Eaton going to Huber. They going to Huber Memorial and all that. I went one time. Then after that, I was like, no, I'm not going. So now he's looking at me, what I'm doing, my outside activity. He's not focused, so he's not really actually talking to these recruiters, the person who I am. Mm-hmm. So he's not speaking up for me in that way. I saw that later. My father seen it earlier, but I seen all that later. But a lot of that shit came with that. You know what I mean? A lot of that shit came with it.
And see, some people get this. Some people, and I'm not speaking on a program right now because they putting people in school. They are, especially the football. They putting people in school. However, when we was in there, Coach Eaton is not taking nothing away from Coach Eaton, including Coach Badham. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't a thing of recruiting. If a coach gonna come around and talk to them, they gonna talk back. But far as all right, I gotta find somewhere for this kid to go and that kid to go. You gotta get that on your own in the summertime. You know what I'm saying?
I found that out the hard way. Coach Stan was the guy to bridge all that. Stan was the guy to actually do all that. Stan even tried to get me to go to Morgan, but I'm so arrogant. And at the time, I didn't even want to play football, bro, after my senior year.
Now talk about that. You
got to understand me. All right, so me going into my senior year, I done met Coach Friesian from Maryland. I had a visit there for a whole day when I watched Joseph Forte, Ed Coder, all them. They had a game against Maryland. I stayed the whole day, me and Antoine. Mm-hmm. They fed us. I ain't go home till probably 9 o'clock that night. You know what I mean? That was like one of those days that they was like just talking to me. At the time, I forgot the kid name. I think his name was Jordan. Was a running back from Maryland at the time. Met him, met all the quarterbacks, met everybody. Mm-hmm. And they stayed in contact with him. But the coaches at the teams that was recruiting me the hardest was TCU, mm-hmm. Baylor, and Maryland. Mm-hmm. And going into the season, I was just like tired, yo. Like my father, like everybody just looking at me as somebody like, yo, he's going to help us out.
And and see that right there, the mental strain they have, and sometimes even with that pressure, because sometimes we put that pressure on ourselves too, because you carried it as well, because you wanna. It's like this. You want to live up to all the expectations, because you got expectations for yourself.
I'm 16 years old, Taz. Yeah. I'm waiting for my girl father to leave and lock the door so I can get this nut out of me. I'm trying to get some pussy at the time. That's my way to cope and escape the world and all the pressure at that time. That we need you at practice, we need you doing this, because if you get to school, that means that there's opportunity for all of us. And then you will get to the NFL. I'm hearing all this shit. I'm tired. I don't want to people living through me at the time. I got my father living through me at the time. My father had expectation of me at the time. My mother ain't even supporting me. My mother probably came to three games my whole entire life. I was 17 years old. She been to 3 games. 2 of them was I was in Pee Wee football.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had a lot of pressure on me at this time, and I was burnt the fuck out. I'm competing I'm competing since I was 9 years old, because if any slip back, mm-hmm. my spot is taken. So I gotta compete. I gotta compete. High school level, I'm still competing. Even though I was a sophomore, junior, I'm still competing, because I know I got DeAndre, I got this person, I'm competing.
Right.
I got burnt the fuck out. So everything is a job. I wasn't taught that. Who the fuck gonna tell me anything on how to get to the next level? They never been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My father actually went back to school up Compton when I was in high school. So he kind of supported me as far as the games and everything, but also as far as my recruit and everything else. I didn't do my job as education purpose, but also coaches didn't have my back doing that. And at the time, I'm ignorant, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because my SAT scores is not like a 950 or 1,000 that I need, because I got a low GPA, because I'm cutting school third period at Miss Price class, because I want to go get some pussy, or I want to go get my dick sucked downstairs. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking to encounter to that. I'm not looking into that. I'm still a kid at the end of the day. I'm in high school at the end of the day. But now, when it's game time and all these things, now you got pressure, man. We need you to do this. We need you to do that. I'm like, man, I've been doing everything for everybody. Nigga, tired though, bro.
Yeah, and man, it's a whole different. It's a whole. People see you, and did you used to go through this? People see you. You still playing football?
Still, nigga. Football? Years later, Taz. Years later, yo.
My fault. Cut you off. I got so tired of the game, I ain't touched the ball for 2 years at that left college. Because I'm talking about, I ain't want to talk about it. I ain't want to touch it, like all that. When I came back here, I was burnt out. I ain't want, Taz, was ever on some basketball? Nah, I don't even want to talk about that Dunbar shit. You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly where you coming from with it.
Bro, it run from there to, I didn't want to even go up Northwood or watch no football at the time, because they like, yo, come, let's go see Lil Nate Irby. Like, yo, let's go see Lil Nate. I'm like, nah, Because what happens is now they trying to get me to coach.
Okay.
I need a break from that shit.
Yeah.
Like, because also, like, what I'm gonna tell, like, I can't teach it because something that actually has come natural in a way. So I can't teach you and tell you what you should be doing. Something I can go over the footwork when I was taught, but other than that, certain shit that was given to me, it was God given, and it was like something that comes natural. Right. So I don't want to teach. I don't want to teach it. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to make it a job because it's actually is a dark place, and I don't feel like going there. I need a break from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what it was. I remember me and my father got an intense argument. He's like, "Man, you quit." I'm like, "Man, I knew it, man. You quit." What was you talking about? He don't even know that I went to Virginia. I think it was Pennsylvania. It was a Lackawanna. I went up there with my man Dave. It was me, Jay, and little Dave. And the coaches was like, "Man, listen, man, we want you to hear." He was like, "But it's a couple running backs in front of you. The kid from Grambling, that's going to Grambling. Got a couple other kids." And I remember when I walked off the field, because we practiced that day. When I walked off the field, and my mother was out there, because my mother did take us up there. No, I'm sorry, it was little Dave's mother. She took us up there. And I walked off the field, and we was getting in the car, and I was like, I ain't doing it. Why? Because at the time, I didn't have it in me. I didn't feel like competing. Right. He was telling me, like, yo, we got three people in front of you. And I'm thinking it back, like, all the way back, like, I gotta compete. Yo, I'm in summer. Yo, listen, I'm smoking Black and Miles every day. I'm smoking weed. My niggas, they outside on Preston Street. They hustling. They doing this. They doing. I'm awake. I'm not working out. My neck's small. Yeah. Dreads longer. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't working out. I just actually went because Jay Scott actually wanted to go to school. Okay. And he tagged me on with him and was telling his coach about me. His coach actually remembered me a year ago. Oh, you know him. He's not where. Tell him, come on. Yeah. Fast forward that. Gary Smith, I'm home now. Gary Smith called me from California. I told my coach about you. Now you ain't doing it, man. Come on, man. Send me the highlight tape. And I talked, man, Gary, man, trying to send me out. He's trying to get me a plane ticket, everything. I wasn't into it. I wasn't there mentally, and I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing nothing. Right. I actually enjoying myself doing nothing. Right. I was enjoying myself doing nothing.
Yeah, people don't understand when you people calling your name from the time you small, all the way to, and this is your life. So your whole life, you gotta be like this one character. And
my first year,
one character.
My first year playing football, I was 7 years old. I played with Northwood coach Ben Du Bois. Coach Ben, Mom and Smith was our quarterback. Gary Smith, little brother. Shout out to my nigga. Bro. The twins. Yeah. I was 7 years old playing nose tackle. I wanted to play with Vincent Fuller, Alan Carr, Lil Brandon, Lil J, rest in peace to Lil J, who they killed from around my way. And I wanted to play with those guys. Them niggas just won like 3 championships back to back. I wanted to play with those guys. And my man, Lil Carr, I was 7 years old playing 8-10. They put me in play. I was playing nose tackle. So my first organized time, like the first time I ever played football, organized football, I was 7. I was playing football. And then after football season, I'm playing basketball. Yeah. After basketball season, I'm playing football.
Yeah, don't stop.
Don't stop until I got to high school. Let me tell you something. I was hooping. The reason why I stopped hooping up Dunbar is because that year that I took off, I watched how Champ got better. Rest in peace to Champ. Robert Burrell, I love you to death. I still love you. I still thinking about you. Calvin, Champ, Big Ivan, all of them started getting better and better. And at that time, I was working on playing football. The next year I watched them play, they was already, because I learned, like, once you put the ball down basketball, you start losing some skill set if you're not hooping every day. Yeah. I watched them, like, scoop, little scoop, when I Randallstown, All-American, all Baltimore City. I think you had them, Joe. You got to get them on the show. Yeah. All of them, they was getting better and better. And they stretching out. Yeah. I'm going to stay right here, but I'm still playing. I'm still playing. I'm playing football. So I stuck with football when I got up Dunbar. Because they wanted me to hoop. I remember me, Sean, when I'm Southern. Now you hooping DeAndre, all of them. You ain't hoop because they know me, Kenny Minor. They all know me from. Man, Kenny was playing since we was 10. When it was him, Mello, Darnell Hopkins. Keefe and them was a year older, so it was Kenny, Darnell Hopkins. We was playing church league. I was playing against him also against Israel Baptist.
Yeah.
It was Jay Scott, Eric Brown, a couple other niggas. Tyler against Kenny, which is Mount Royal. Kenny, Darnell Hopkins, all of them. But so when I got down Dunbar, I'm just like, you ain't hooping? I'm like, nah, I'm play football. Because them niggas now, they working on their game every day.
Yeah.
So you imagine, it was nonstop. I was always doing something. You look at me and my brother, we had trophies everywhere. So my brother was the only one that had medals. I never had a medal. My brother had, them niggas went to Final Four with him, Mark Karcher, Day, Chris Dean, White Boy Josh, and all of them.
Big Josh up Givens, huh? Man, that's crazy. Listen, before we get up off of here though, I want you. How was it? All right. That first fall, and you don't have practice. How long did it take you? During the fall, all right, because I ain't gonna lie, I ain't want to play, but I knew when it was basketball season in my head. But you don't have practice. You don't have nowhere that you need to be. How was that for you? How was that?
It was kind of scary, and it was a relief at the same time. It was relief because I didn't have a job and a duty.
Okay.
It was scary because I was always thinking, what would people say? Because I never thought, I would be that person, he was a nigga that almost had, or he ain't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Scary because everywhere I went, because now I stood out now because my locks is getting long and long, my dreads is getting long and long. So it was kind of more of anxiety and embarrassment in a way that it was niggas would see my eyes bloodshot because I'm highed up. And they yo, it's always where you at? What you doing? Nigga, you know where I'm at. I'm outside. You know where I'm at. If I'm here 1 o'clock in the afternoon getting something to eat, I'm not at school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who you talking about? Now I'm not at school. It was.
My fault cut you off though, because I did this on purpose. Now you see how you about to get into that. Now y'all gonna tune into part 2, because now part 2 next time we talk, because me and Baylor we talked about this. We're gonna get into the mental aspect after the game and the different things that the different things that you may go through when the game is not there. Some of the things that you have to pick up from things that you probably should have been picked up, that you probably should have had, but people was doing it for you. Or you were just, we're going to get into all that. You know what I'm saying? Going into being, you ain't never regular. You ain't regular now. So I'm just trying to say get
it out. Go ahead, spit it out. Go ahead.
Going into being a regular civilian. And what I mean by that, athletes, and that's here and that's everywhere. And I don't care. Every sport has their groupies. But however, in Baltimore, if you play football and basketball, you get special treatment. You get treated a little different. You see what I'm saying? You get treated, So we get treated
a little different.
Yeah. Till this day. However, there's a lot of phony shit to go with that come with that. And we're just going to talk about some of these things, like how you have 100,000 people one day over here. And when you really need to talk to somebody, when the shit really hit the fan, it may be about 2 or 3. But we're going to get into all of that.
All right, bet. Yeah, let's get into that.
We're going to get into all that. Listen, coming live from Tez TV. Bear, I'd like to thank you again for joining the platform. Part 2, we can I don't want to put you on the spot in front of the people, but I'm gonna put you on the spot in front of the people.
What's that?
Can we have part 2 done next week?
Let's do it.
So the people who have a part 2.
Man, let's do it, man. We're gonna do that part 2, man. You know, this shit is big right here. Like right here. Like they don't even know. Like I'm enjoying everything about it. I'm enjoying this. I feel at home, man. I feel at home. So let's do it next week. You let me know what time, and we're gonna knock it out.
All right. Anything you want to say to the people? Anything you want to promote? Anything we need to look out for?
No, man. I just wanted to like send my condolences to you, man. I know it was tough with it because I definitely wanted to like chop it up with you, but I know you was going through a tough time at the, you know, during that time that I actually wanted like because I was bluffing. Anyway, I'm like, yo, let's do it. And I'm like, he's like, all right, that. And then we try to connect, and that shit didn't follow through because of if like the Zoom, whatever. And then I kind of fell back. And then when I was ready, the situation happened with you. So I didn't want to promote nothing, man. Just put love out there. But at the end of the day, I just want to like give you my condolences. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry that you lost your grandpa, man.
Man, thank you, bro. That's like my
fault. Let's get to it next week, baby.
But we can get to it next week. Coming live for Tez TV. Holla.